like a lot of us, you've probably pinned many a New Year's resolution to the promise of making it up to your body for everything you've consumed over the holidays. And for me, that was plenty. So you've juiced, you've detoxed, and you've cleansed. But the chances are the only thing you lost was some hard-earned money. There is a better way. It's called a diet reset. Here to explain, registered dietitian Vincci Tsui. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Good morning.
Okay, so you are here to let us know that those kind of dramatic processes are not the best way to go, right?
No, they don't really work. There isn't really any scientific evidence out there to prove that juices or juicing or cleanses or detoxes really work. Because if you think about it, how can, you know, say a 3-day lemon juice cleanse do the same thing as a 10-day detox diet, right? Like, as long as your kidney and liver are working fine, your body does the detoxing by itself. So, yeah.
Okay, so you can save yourself. I mean, and it can be dramatic for the pocketbook as well as probably a little bit hard on your body too.
Yeah, I mean, like, because if, say, you're going on a juice diet, and especially if you're going on it for a long period of time, you might be depriving your body of even things like fat and protein, let alone some of the vitamins and minerals that you might be missing out on if you're just drinking juices all day.
So you're here to talk about a diet reset. So what does that mean then?
So I think a lot of the times when people go for juices or cleanses or detoxes, that kind of thing, they're not necessarily looking for cleaning their colon or some magic fat burning thing. They really just want to say, okay, like, I indulged a little too much over the new year. What are some ways that I could just eat better? So the idea behind this is just kind of setting some strict rules for yourself, maybe for a week. I would say minimum 3 days, but this diet is gentle enough that it's stuff that you can carry on for a longer period of time.
Okay, so what's a good place to start?
So some things to cut out, so kind of the indulgent stuff right there. So added sugars, I would say you would want to cut out. Alcohol, obviously. Caffeine as well. I don't have coffee here. Unless you're someone who's drinking, say, like a pot of coffee every morning, cutting that out right away is going to give you pretty bad caffeine withdrawal symptoms. So you want to kind of do that more gradually, but if you're just having that 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day, maybe just kind of try cutting that out as well.
What does that accomplish in terms of getting your body healthier? Like, I see that obviously sugar, alcohol, things like that, refined foods, but where does caffeine sit in all of that?
I think a lot of the times it does have to do with the amount of caffeine, and with the diet reset, it's not that necessarily that the foods that you're cutting out are bad for you, but it's just kind of the idea of getting rid of all these extra chemicals and things like that. And I think a lot of the times too, when people drink coffee, it's the fancy lattes and stuff that do have a lot of added sugar and added fats in it, so you want to kind of just avoid that at the same time.
Okay, and what's next?
So next, you want to be trying to choose whole foods as much as possible. So I kind of made a comparison here. Again, like I said, even things that are healthy, like whole grain pasta, you know, they are more processed than something like a quinoa or barley or even brown rice, that kind of thing. So kind of moving away from the packaged processed foods, you can make it as strict or as non-strict as you want, but really being conscious of cooking your own whole foods.
Okay, and you have a plate here to demonstrate what?
Yeah, so the idea is that you want to make, especially for your lunches and dinners, because I know most people don't do veggies at breakfast, you want to try to fill half your plate with vegetables. And I think a lot of my clients like this because you're still eating the same amount of food. I'm not telling you to starve yourself or eat less, but by shifting your diet to include more vegetables, but still including some protein and some whole grains, some extra fiber and protein to help you feel fuller for longer, because just eating a big plate of lettuce isn't very appetizing and isn't very filling
not very filling. And you also encourage people to drink a lot of water to stay hydrated. So, and then sort of beyond this, say you want to commit to it for a week, then moving into sort of the rest of your life, what sort of tips do you offer to people to just kind of stay on track?
Yeah, so same thing, like, stay with the minimally processed foods as much as you can. Try to include 3 out of the 4 food groups at every meal so that you get that variety. Try to eat every 3 to 5 hours so you don't get to that point where you're starving, and because you don't crave celery sticks when you're starving. And then obviously, you know, keep on staying hydrated and drinking water.
This is a great way to do it. Not so dramatic, but it works really well. Vincci, how do people find you?
You can find me on my website. It's vincitsui.com, and it should be on your screen below if you can't spell my name.
We'll have links on our website at breakfasttelevision.ca. Vincci Tsui, registered dietitian. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.